All right, what's up, guys? This is Dan again. I just made another app. I just launched another app. I want to introduce you all to. It's called KPImagic.com. I swear, what you can do now, it's insane, man. I've been able to create several apps just literally in like under a few days by just working hard and actually using AI and understanding what's going on with the AI and app development. And here we are. I have KPImagic.com. I have SAJam.com. I have a few others coming in development, but I wanted to introduce this one to you because I think it's pretty cool. All right. So this one is called KPImagic.com. Say goodbye to spreadsheet chaos. Manage marketing budgets, track KPIs, and forecast performance in one simple platform. No more scattered spreadsheets, no more manual calculations, just actionable insights. Very easy to get started, as you can see here. But I want to, just talk about this for a moment. So the reason I made KPImagic.com is at my corporate, entity, we're always using spreadsheets to track budgets for media spend, for campaign launches, for forecasting performance, and actually aggregating performance results from different various marketing campaigns, right? It became extremely unwieldy to use spreadsheets to manage multiple campaigns over multiple months, multiple timeframes, with different metrics that were being tracked, with different forecasts, objectives, things like that. It just became a nightmare to manage in spreadsheets. And so what I did is I built KPI Magic, and you can actually now run all of your media budget, your media planning, your KPI performance analysis and forecast performance analysis right from one single platform, right? So let's jump into this and let's see what KPI Magic can actually do for you. So I want to introduce you to the homepage here, but I do have, there's one bug that I've actually seen here, and I can't quite log in. There's a bug going on here. So I'm going to show you how I can fix this using Replit as my development engine. But I want to give you a little more context into what this is, right? Say goodbye to spreadsheet chaos, manage marketing budgets, track KPIs, and forecast performance in one simple platform. And no more scattered spreadsheets, just more manual calculations, just actionable insights, right? You can see how it works down below, and it will kind of show you a quick screenshot of the platform itself. The problem: spreadsheets are holding you back, and says why you shouldn't be using spreadsheets. Simplify budget management, KPI tracking, forecast performance, so forth and so on. Trusted by a number of marketing teams worldwide, and then you can start a trial here, right? So pretty good landing page, I think, for this application. Now the problem is when I go to start free trial, got another good landing page here, right? Start your free trial today. Looks pretty good. Now AI did all of this. I just sort of instructed it what to do. When I click continue with Google, it actually will not work. I don't believe this will work correctly because I have a bug in the app. Let's see what it does, but I don't think I'll be able to connect. And I'm going to show you how I can fix this, fairly quickly through using the Replit agent. Let's try it though. Let's see if it'll work. All right, so we're trying to log in right now, and let's see what actually happens. Yeah, see, it didn't really actually log. Oh, it did log in. Oh, perfect. Actually, my bug does not exist. So that's how you log in. So I logged in with Google, and this is sort of the dashboard. It's not perfect yet, but it's sort of coming along here. You can see on top, there's a dashboard, campaigns, budgets, forecasts, KPIs, and reports. Dashboard just gives you sort of an overarching view of everything, which I do need to clean up, but it looks decent at the moment. You could take these quick actions by creating a campaign, managing a budget, KPI analysis, generate report, so forth and so on, and then any of the recent activity. If you jump into campaigns, this is where, kind of the magic happens behind the scenes. You can create a new campaign. And when you create a new campaign, basically just asks you what type of campaign you want. In this one, I'm going to say we'll make a test campaign. We'll say that our Salesforce ID is 12345 or 123445, and then these are the default sort of settings that I've put in here today. Although these need to change. I actually just realized that these are set for every user. So I'm going to need to change these and make these more dynamic so that people can change these on the fly. But that's what I have so far. And then what type of campaign is it? Awareness, engagement, conversion, top of funnel, middle of funnel, or bottom of funnel campaign, right? So you set your campaign criteria, sort of just kind of kick it off. Then you click next to go to the budget screen. And in the budget screen, you put in your total amount of budget. So let's just say we have $50,000 for our budget. it pre-allocates that $50,000 based on a channel allocation that you have set in your admin panel, right? There's a place you can actually set what your allocation should be based on the type of campaign you select. And in this case, it's saying for awareness campaigns, it allocates 20% to Facebook, 15% to LinkedIn, 10% to Twitter, 10% to Google search, 5% to Bing, and 40% to Google DV360. The makeup and the allocation is a little different when you look at engagement and conversion campaigns. And it's all based on really what your objective is, right? Is your objective reach? Is your objective lead generation? Is your objective something else, right? And so this is sort of an easy way to quickly allocate. You can now reallocate this if you want, right? You can actually put in whatever you want. So I'll put $5,000 here, and then it'll identify, or indicate that you're over budget right here. You need to actually reduce the budget, right? And then same thing if you had zero, it says you actually have $2,500 remaining. So we want to fully allocate this, and it does that somewhat automatically. And then it actually allocates it by quarter as well. And it's saying right now 40% of budget's Q1, 30% for Q2, so forth and so on, right? Again, this could be configured in the admin, but I just wanted to show you sort of how that looks like. And then it basically shows you how you're going to spend that $50,000 in the budget. Then you go next into forecast, and you actually can forecast performance results. Now, these are based on benchmarks that are set in the KPIs section over here, which we'll get to in a moment. But this basically shows you how you can set or forecast your performance benchmarks. And right now it's automatic. If you click on this performance benchmarks, it'll automatically calculate this based on your benchmarks that you set in the KPI section. You could also manually set these if you want to override it and add anything you want in there, but let's just leave it automatic right now. And then it'll say the calculated KPIs that it foresees or that it forecasts based on the budget and based on the benchmarks. And ultimately, what your target CPM, click-through rate, your target cost per impressions, your target click-through rate, cost per click, marketing qualified lead conversion rate, opportunity conversion rate, cost per MQL, and then MQL pipeline value ultimately that you're going to generate. Okay, so there's that section. Then there's an actual section where you can actually go ahead and input the actual performance that you saw based on how the campaign actually performed. So let's just say impressions. Let's just say I had 50,000, and I don't even know if this is right at all. 10,000. I'll just say I had 1,000 clicks. I'll say I had 100 website visits. I'll say I had 1 MQL. 0 opportunities, and I'll just say I had a revenue of like $1,000 just for, and then actual spend, let's say we spent $5,000 instead of 50. So we'll save actuals, and then it'll actually start doing some aggregation, some math. So this is your test campaign that I just set up. It shows you your budget, shows you your quarterly allocation. It also shows you your forecasted results from this particular campaign and this type of campaign. And then it also will show you your actuals and how you performed against the forecast. And in this case, I just randomly put in numbers, right? So clearly the numbers are very low. We underperformed in this campaign, but that's sort of the idea, right? And then you can go back to any of those budgets, forecasts, whatnot in this section, okay? All the budgets that are created are created here, and they're tied to a specific campaign. So you can look at the budgets, and you can go into that budget relevant to that specific campaign. Same with the forecast, same thing, right? You go into each of the forecasts, you could go back into each campaign. And then on the KPIs side, this is where you actually set the metrics in terms of the metrics in terms of what you want to track, how you want to track it, and all that kind of fun stuff. So you can see that this is kind of, a pretty useful dashboard, pretty useful in terms of, setting specific or custom KPIs. Right now, the channels that I have in here are Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Google search, Bing, and DV360. You can add any channel you want in this configuration section over here. But these are average benchmarks across all channels, right? And it gives you the CPM by channel, gives you the click-through rate by channel, gives you the definitions of the KPIs that you're tracking, it gives you the marketing funnel metrics that you're tracking for each stage of the funnel and how they kind of pan out, if you will. And then give you some optimization and a few other things, okay? So that's really how you do that. And then you can look individually for each of your channels to do the exact same thing. You can configure here in the configuration section which channels that you want to actually track. You can track new channels, custom channels. These are all the channels that I'm tracking. then you could also associate and track KPIs specific to each channel over here. You create a KPI, you put that KPI definition in here, and then you can actually track that against a particular channel. And then you could actually modify or change your channel allocation details or defaults over here, what I was showing just a bit earlier. For awareness, engagement, and conversion, you can see that you can set the different channel activities within here, okay? And then this is the dashboard layout right now. I might change this, but this is really kind of the dashboard layout that you saw on the KPIs dashboard when we came here, okay? So you could change all of that. And then lastly, last but not least, is the reports section. I created a reports section because, folks, within corporate organizations, they want to typically extract or export reports. So this is a view of all completed campaigns and the budget performance, the campaign ROI analysis, KPI trends report, and a forecast versus actuals report based on all completed campaigns. This is not reflective of tentative or active campaigns. Only campaigns that have completed will be reflected here, right? So you can see across all the campaigns, we had a planned budget of 300K. We only spent 185K and we utilized 61% of the budget. We, completed 3 campaigns. We have none active, and this is our average CPM. And then in terms of KPI trends, forecasts, it'll tell you how many MQLs you generated, how many opportunities, and at what conversion rate. And then lastly, it'll kind of tell you how much you're under or over with your budget tracking, and so forth and so on. So that's what I have right now. I realize that I just did that without showing you, but here is the section here, what I was just saying for reports. And then if you go back into KPIs, I'll just show real quick. Here's the actual dashboard. I kind of went through this fast, but I think you get the idea. And if you want to learn more about this, if you want to play with it, if you want to check it out, go to kpimagic.com. Go ahead and start a free trial right here. Put in your name, put in your company, and you can start a free trial right here. And let me know what you think of this solution. I really built it for myself personally to help manage spreadsheets, or to alleviate management of spreadsheets, and to really help my team to better organize their media spend, performance, budget management, and so forth, because we typically have to connect with finance at least monthly, if not more regular. So this makes it very, very easy for us to do that. Anyway, if you like this content, let me know. Please go ahead and subscribe to the channel or give it a thumbs up. And I'm excited to hear what you guys think about kpimagic.com. More to come on this, and I'll talk to you soon.